Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're feeling good and you're looking good. You're ready for this upcoming holiday. I hope you can all hear me okay. I'm going to test my. Yes, I can hear myself. Um, and hi, Lisa Yates is on here. Hello, Lisa. Please say hi to me. Say hi to me in the comments. I've got them in two different places, so I'm able to kind of see everything that's going on. So we are going to do a self-publishing Q&A. So basically, I had a conversation with a lady recently who was interested in self-publishing her book with As You Wish Publishing using our services. And she had some terrific questions, and they're general questions for self-published authors. And I felt like they would be really useful. So we're going to go ahead and dive in here. Lisa, I think, didn't you publish a book? I feel like you did. Maybe you didn't. But there's going to be some great information here. So please say hi to me in the comments. Please, please. Hello to me. Hello to me. And we're going to do this kind of cool PowerPoint style. Booyah. There I am. Look at my face. Hey, Todd Schaefer. Todd Schaefer. Hello. Hello, Mr. Schaefer. Do you have any self-publishing questions? All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to head right on into it. I'm going to go ahead and make that full screen for a little bit. And all right. Common self-publishing questions answered. All right. So the first one is, what is the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing? There are a ton of differences. Love the pick, Todd says. What's the difference? So, like I said, there's a lot of differences, but let's just do the first primary one. So traditional publishers often require authors to market their own books while retaining ownership of the work. Self-publishing gives you full ownership, but requires you to drive the marketing efforts yourself. But traditional publishing also requires you to market your book as well. So, it's kind of interesting. The things that aren't said, the quiet parts that aren't said out loud, are going to be the things like you're getting an advance on your royalties. So they're actually taking money out of the royalties that you get from your book before you even start getting paid for your book. Your wholesale costs could be very high. You could be selling your book for $14 and they could be charging you $12 a copy. There are other things too, like it can take 2 years, whereas with self-publishing, you could do it in 2 months. They have full creative control. So if you want it to be a certain way, they're going to require you to, since they own it now, essentially, unless you have a reversal clause in your contract, which means they, after they decide they don't want to market your book anymore, you retain your rights and then you can do your own, work to get your book out there. So there's so many nuances to this. Some people say traditional publishing for kind of small subsidiary, big five kind of publishers, but they're not big five. They're truncated. I don't know what the right word is there. Subsidiaries. They're kind of take them on, but they may not be the big five, like the Random House or the, that kind of thing. You kind of take a moment and you just go, how do I want my book to be out there in this world, right? Hi, Cindy. Please say hi to me. Hi to me in the comments. There's so many nuances to this, like I said, and I don't want to go on and belabor it because we are going to be talking primarily about self-publishing. Please just read all your contracts. If it is a traditional publisher, you will not pay a dime. And sometimes hybrid publishers make you think that they are traditional publishers, but you're paying to be published. You wouldn't have to pay at all. So that's something that's, I think, is a real key. And please, please, please read every single author contract. If it's a hybrid publisher, they may require you to buy a certain number of copies at close to retail price, like $12 a book. And they're making you buy 2,500 copies. That is not a traditional publisher. But we come to this, we're like, being new to it, we don't know, And so the first thing I did when I got into this industry was I was like, I want to know what I don't know. And so I just kind of reverse engineered. I learned everything I could. I didn't know the difference between a hybrid publisher, a traditional publisher, a vanity press, a self-publishing services like AYW. I didn't know. And so we are a self-publishing services company because I learned about all of those things, and it just didn't sit right with me. So we're authors first, and we are for authors. So I think we're going to move right on into the next slide. There's 18 of these. Are you bored already? But I think it's a real important thing to know the difference. All right. Next question. How viable is self-publishing in a crowded market? I love this question because it really is just completely up to you, how do you choose your own adventure? How do you want this thing to roll out? How dedicated are you to the work that you're put out there? Because a lot of times people create the book, but then have no marketing plan, no idea about what to do next. They don't really, maybe are very introverted, and they're not used to kind of sharing the word about their book or their ideas, or even if it's a fiction story, putting it out there in a new way. And so it can be a little difficult, if you're not a speaker or you don't want to be out there. But I dare say it is completely okay to be totally off camera and still get the word out about your book. You can still do that. So self-publishing is a fast-growing industry. It really is. It's about a $5 billion annual industry. So it's big money that can be had, and you can have a piece of that. And the market is crowded. There's about 9 million books or something like that on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, and that's just the ebooks, right? Unique perspectives and proper positioning can make your book stand out. So is it a concept or idea that hasn't gotten mainstream? And I think that that's how your solution essentially gets out into the world in a variety of ways. So, you know what? We talk about like Abraham Hicks. I know I like to go a little woo here. But Abraham talks about there's no new thoughts, right? There's no new thoughts. We all have the same thoughts over and over and over again throughout all of history. And nothing new is really coming in. It's just the same thing. But when it's told through a person, it's your own unique perspective. It's about how you learn it and how you needed to assimilate it, integrate it. And there's going to be more people like you in this world. There's only 16 personality types, and there's however many billions of people in this world. So that's something to consider, to hold on to honor, and to say, you know what? I really think that what I have to say is important. The more you get that what you have to say is important, the more that unique voice is going to come through, because it is important and you are important. All right. Please say hi to me in the comments, please, please. All right. So let's move forward here. What are the steps to publishing with a self-publishing services company? So for me, we do a lot with this process that we have, and it's a very simple process. It's just 4 steps, and it's Usually, so now this is giving you an example of what kind of a common thing is where you would submit your manuscript first and then you select publishing services. For As You Wish Publishing, what we actually do is you pick your publishing service, which we right now have Flex Publish. $17.77 is the price of that. That's your book formatting, your layout, your book cover design, your ISBN number, your Library of Congress number. We send a copy to you and to the Library of Congress. It is getting your book onto KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. I am fluent in KDP, so I handle customer service to talk to them to make sure everything is working properly. And if there's any issues, I talk to them and figure out what's going on your behalf. Usually there's not too many things going on there, but if there are, I am there for that. Also, what we do is we have you set up your own account so that we're not paying you a royalty check that's going directly from KDP to your bank account. People often wonder, how do royalties work? Currently, KDP pays 60% royalties to the author, so they keep 40%. So let's say you have a print copy, and that print copy sells for $10. They're going to keep $4 of that plus the print cost. So let's say if it's $10, it's not going to be a very print heavy book. So it'll probably be about $2.60, $2.60 a copy or something like that. So they'll take $4, so that's $6.50, and then they'll pay you the royalty remaining, which would be $3.50. So any print copy that is bought on Amazon through their website, that's going to be the royalty. Now, if you raise that price, you get higher royalties, that kind of thing. And if the print cost is a little bit more, usually it's around, even the bigger books are usually around $4 to $4.50 a copy. So you have those kinds of things happening. So anyway, you get the royalties paid directly to you. You own the copyright. You get to do whatever you want to with your book. If a publisher, a publishing company, a legit traditional publishing company approaches you, you don't have to ask our permission. You'll have all the files, all the book cover files, the front, back, spine, along with the ebook version and the ebook book covers and formatting. So you have access to everything. And then you'll also get to review the final copy, final approval. And then you can also have an add-on feature with us, which is launching the book. And that's helping you get to Amazon bestseller. And I'll get more to that in just a moment. All right. All right. Again, like I was saying before, how long does the publishing process take? Once the manuscript is submitted, the process typically takes 3 to 6 weeks. If you're working with us, that's not necessarily everyone. That's our general thing. If we're staying on top of our targets. I see Joe. Hi, Joe. How you doing, buddy? Say hi to me. And so you have that, but that's not necessarily typical for all publishing services companies. Sometimes it takes a bit longer. Very rarely does it take less time than that, just because we're going through all these different funnels and trying to get people doing different tasks. So we have a book cover design person who handles our book cover design, and they are very dedicated to the deadlines. And so we have to stay dedicated, and therefore the authors have to stay dedicated to the deadlines. So we're very tight on those kinds of things. And it's really important to us that we stick with our parameters in that regard. So it also depends on how fast the author can turn around their approvals. So if there's a lot of final approvals that they're seeing, there's some typos or misspellings, something like that, then that might take a little bit longer for us to fix them and that kind of thing. So there's that. What if I need to make changes after the submission? This is such a good question because, and it's so interesting Joe's on here. Thank you, Todd. This is awesome info. I need to hear that every once in a while. So small changes are allowed, of course, during final approvals. That would be misspellings and typos. Again, this is for As You Wish Publishing. Other companies may do something different. But extensive revisions after submission may incur additional fees. So for example, if you need a reworking or a new copy edit or something like that, something's just not jiving properly, because you just notice some things later on that you didn't notice in the beginning, that's totally okay. We just do some additional fees, and it's all very reasonable. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Next. All right. Good. All right. Let me make myself smaller here. What are the costs involved in self-publishing? So the base publishing packages for As You Wish Publishing, can't speak for anybody else, is $17.77. Additional services such as author coaching and marketing can bring the total to around $3,000. If you get the full meal deal with copy editing and the whole 9 yards, it's around like $4,000 or so. So this is what our pricing is as of November 25th, 2024. I'll just put that out there just so you guys know. We could raise our prices in 2025. I don't know. But for the most part, we're pretty consistent on our pricing. There's other things that might be in addition, like, for example, people who have more than 50,000 words in their book, or they have a bigger book to copy edit. So you have those kinds of things. Also, with our copy editing services, it's not developmental. There are two different types of, there are more than two different types, but the two different types that we know the most about or hear the most about are your basic copy editing for punctuation, grammar, and that kind of thing. And then you also have the developmental copy editing. Developmental copy editing is not something we offer. That is where we're looking at the flow of the content and offering suggestions to say, this paragraph doesn't fit here, it fits more here. You should change these chapters to reflect what you're actually wanting to say here. There is inconsistency in this chapter, or you are being repetitive. I see the same paragraph in one other place, and you might want to eliminate one of those two paragraphs. That's developmental copy editing, for my limited understanding of what developmental copy editing is. But we don't provide that. That's something you would want to find elsewhere. Okay, so that's that. Just head out to our website, asyouwishpublishing.com, and do /I write. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Here we go. asyouwishpublishing.com /I write. This is going to give you a lot of the information, especially about the different types of packages. You'll just go down to the bottom where it says view package options or view options, and you'll be able to see there, what's going on and what we offer. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. This was a great question. I felt like she had a really great question here. All right. How many books do I need to sell to break even? So selling 233 copies. So this is if she were to buy, or if you were to buy your retail copies, your wholesale copies, so that you could sell them retail. You could, if you were making $10 profits, and her package in particular was $2,330. She wanted bestseller option with Amazon, I think author coaching, and the base package maybe. Or maybe it was just the base package and the bestseller. Regardless, okay. So this is how I think about it. Now, if you're selling books through Amazon and just sending people to the Amazon link, you're going to make 60% after Amazon takes out the print cost plus 40%. Right. So I went through that in the beginning. So you could be making $4 to $5 a copy. If you buy your books wholesale and then sell them retail, so let's say your book is $4.50 a copy. That's usually on the higher end of a non-fiction book, and that would include about $1 shipping per book. So I always recommend you get at least 10 copies to 20 copies of your book so that you have them on hand. You can do signed copies, you can do book events, and then you can sell them, as you go along. All right. So for that, so let's say her book copy is $4 for the print and, kind of $1 per book for the getting them sent to her, shipping and handling and tax. Then she's selling them retail for $14. So that would give her a $10 profit. That's if she's selling them herself, her own sweat equity. Then she would need to sell 233 copies of her book at $10 a piece to break even. So that does not include ebook sales. That doesn't include Amazon sales. All right. I will tell you that we had an author, her first book run, she sold $1,500 in book sales the first day that she went on and just bought her own books. And she got a profit of $1,500 straight away. Now she partnered with an organization, which I always recommend that you do something like that. Partner with an organization, say you'll give $1 a book, and ask to get on their email list and not their email list, but their newsletter. Let them know that you care about their organization and you're wanting to put your book out there as a way to bring people back to awareness to their organization. So that was something that she did. And that just helps build community, and it's very empowering and very beautiful. So just know you will have to sell some copies of your book to break even. And if you love your book, if you love your work, this should be super easy. This should be super easy. Plus two, this changes if you decide to do pre-orders, if you decide to do assigned copies. So a signed copy is generally anywhere from $25 to $30 a book. And when I do signed copies of ours, and what I recommend for our authors is to be sure and make them very special. If you're selling them at a book event, I would wrap them in some really beautiful tissue paper, or give them some stickers, or give them some things with it, or give them a really pretty bookmark. Buy a bunch of bookmarks from Amazon and put it, make them really beautiful, and make it fun and personal and easy for people to say yes to that. It makes them want to come back and when is your next book? Also, there's some really cool shipping options. We use Pirate Ship. Just look it up, pirateship.com. And it gives you the lowest rate for shipping books and that kind of thing via UPS or USPS, whatever you'd like to do there. And you could make a pretty little, something very special with a card in it and just handwrite something. And so, then your $10 turns to $20, essentially. So then that cuts down the number of copies that you would need to sell to break even. But this is also, for us, this is a business write-off. So if you work with a self-publishing services company, you pay $23.30 for a package, then you make sure to take that off on your taxes as a business expense. This is a book business. That is the primary thing that I want to make sure people understand, is that this is not just, I wrote a book and it was real fun. Let yourself explore this concept or idea that this is meant to be something bigger than just, I wrote a book and it's sitting on a shelf. You deserve that. And your book deserves more. Yeah, as well. So getting out there can be really powerful. Also, too, this is giving a gift, essentially, to people with your knowledge. Wayne Dyer is where I heard it. I heard it from Wayne Dyer. He said, "Do not die with your music still in you." And that's the reason why I wrote my book, Holograms and Echoes. I was not willing to pass on from this life and not leave my knowledge behind. I got my knowledge from this life. Why not leave it for someone to utilize? All right, moving on. Is self-publishing a tax write-off? Hey, there we go. Yes, expenses related to publishing, such as purchasing wholesale books, can be written off as business expenses. Also, I'll have you know that I went through and ChatGPT'd this whole conversation, pulled out all the questions, and I said, can you also give me, based on your knowledge base, ChatGPT, which is the biggest knowledge base in all of the universe, tell me if I'm accurate. So at the end, I think I tell you which ones need a little more revision. All right, and a little more explanation, but there you go. Write this off on your taxes. We claim everything. That we are a legitimate business that is dedicated to helping you succeed and bring your book to life. So please, please, please take it off on your taxes. All right. Let's see. Can I have input on the design of my book? So with As You Wish Publishing, you can submit layout ideas, images for dividers, or concepts for the interior. The cover design will involve collaboration with a professional designer. So we know enough to know that we don't know, which is important, because there are trends, there are things happening all the time in the book business, in the book field. So, I don't know. I do okay. I've designed a few book covers for our collaboration books, but I do know that I don't know. And I feel like that's really important. It's interesting too. We have Joe on here just kind of watching in the background, and he said, can I put in a little filigree thing to show a section divider, because his book is a fiction book, and that's very common in fiction books to have a little lovely divider. And it kind of helps the eye separate the different scenes. It's called scene break. And so, of course, so we pop those in there for him. All right. Can I include quotes or passages from other authors? This is a great question. Yes, as long as they're properly cited with the author's name and source of the material. The only one I would be I would be cautious about would be songs. Do not put song lyrics in your book. You can say, I'm thinking of the song XYZ, go listen to that song now, or go to YouTube and listen to that song. Often, which I think is really cool, is authors, especially for fiction books, will put a song list in the beginning of the book and say, chapter 1, listen to this song. Chapter 2, listen to this song. It's like a kind of a playlist. So you can add a playlist to the beginning of your book, in the introduction area, or even after acknowledgments or dedication. And then, they can kind of listen to that music as they go along, and you can suggest that they can go to YouTube and listen to it. Donna, hi, Donna. Say hi to me. All right. So next, how do I decide on the length and structure of my book? So it's up to you. Really, it's you can look at trends. So for this particular friend, she was thinking about a journal book. And so she was thinking about potentially having kind of like a system or a flow for each section or each theme, so that's something I think is very interesting. You can do that. I have had people do monthly, types of things where it's like each chapter is a month, and then they are going through and saying, this is a theme for the month, which can go along with the holidays or the different, types of months that are out there. And then, putting in like a thoughtful quote, or putting in a particular exercise that goes along with that month. And a paragraph or two about, the experience of that, or maybe even their own personal story, something like that. And so there's those kinds of things that can happen in a journal type book, and then having some maybe lined pages. But ultimately, it really is up to you. So, I say when it comes to journal books, you can do all kinds of things. They don't have to just be lined pages. And usually for journal books, they're about 20 to 30,000 words. But if you're doing a straight up nonfiction, usually they max out about 50,000 words as it is. Usually the types of books that we have done with that have been books from coaches, from people who were doing memoirs, people who are wanting to bring people back to their solution. So they're using their book as their business card. And then, of course, we have the curve breaker like Joe McMoneagle, who is so amazing and did his fiction book. And I think his book topped out about 630 pages, so that was, a good number of words there. So the sky's the limit, really. But, when it comes to our services, we do have a max that we accept. And then beyond that, it just incurs an additional fee. All right. I feel very pale. I look very, I'm going to go and get some sun. I think I need some sun. All right. What is Amazon bestseller status and how does it work? This is the one thing people want to know the most, I think. So Amazon bestseller is very fun. It's very fun. It's very cool. It's very interesting. People are downloading your book. People are getting your book. If it's a free promotion, they consider that a seller, so a bestseller, or 99-cent promotion or something like that. That's normal. They consider it that way. But it ultimately is achieved through, it says achieved through SEO, driving downloads and reviews within a short time frame. Very true. It helps with visibility, but doesn't guarantee long-term success, meaning during a 5-day time frame for Amazon bestseller status, when you buy that add-on from us, it stays top ranked on the either number 1, number 2, number 3 in multiple categories on Amazon in the bestseller categories. After that 5 days, it'll drop out of those top areas. But what I've noticed is that I'll go back and I'll look. So we did Pause and Purpose at the beginning of last year. This year, we did at the beginning of 2024, we did Pause and Purpose. I went back and looked at some of the categories because I was looking at, do I want to add some categories to some other books they were publishing? And Pause and Purpose was still there. It was like number 20, but it was still on that first page of those category listings. Why does that matter? It matters because we did so well with that book during that 5-day period. The algorithm didn't drop it below 20 because it just kept it there because it was so prevalent and people were downloading it so much that they wanted to keep it top of mind, even 11 months later. So I think that's all very interesting, and how that all works. And I understand how most of it works, and I understand how to get it there. But I think ultimately the most important thing is that Amazon just says this book is legitimate. Because if out of 9 million books, your book is still ranking in one of those categories, even if it's a nested category, meaning there's a main category and then there's a subcategory and your book is in the subcategory, and it's staying there for 11 months, I think that's really good. It's really good news, you know. And then you can always do another book promotion. You can do a 99-cent promotion the next time, and then you can put it out there and let people know about it. And then you'll get a 70% royalty off of that, I believe. So, you know, that's not much money. It's just some change, pocket change, but you can get it up there again and out there again. And the point of doing books is to get them visible, right? Become visible. Next, I just have a few more here. Can I sell my book directly through my website? Yes, 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 please do. You can sell your ebooks, your signed print copies, and you're going to get a higher profit margin than Amazon. Hands down, much higher. If you have no traffic going to your website and you're not promoting your book and you're not putting it out there and you're not talking about it and you're not letting people know about it, no, you're not going to get anything. Nothing's going to happen. But if you are doing those things, here's the other thing I find is really cool. This is just a little tidbit. You can sell your ebook on your website, just a PDF copy, just put it through a form or, you know, whatever, and do like $4.99 for your book on your website or as a landing page or however you want to do it. And then do your Amazon ebook at $5.99. So you're going to get that entire $4.99. Whereas with Amazon, you're going to get 70% of that $5.99. Somewhat comes on in the wash, but ultimately at the end of the day, you probably want people coming to your website to get your book. There's that. But yes, you can do it. How do I get reviews for my book? Okay, so here's the other thing I think is really interesting, guys. So Kirkus Review, you might have heard of them. I have heard this more times from more authors, not connected to me, just on YouTube and different places, because I like to research this stuff. I like learning about it. I like understanding it. And any new trends, any new things that are coming up, I want to know about it. Kirkus Review always felt off to me, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I started seeing some of the things coming back from it. So like one particular self-published author, she bought a review, and it was like one review from Kirkus Review for $300. And she said if she could do it over again, she would just spend $300 on copy editing and have somebody else take a look at her book. Because reviews are very easy to get. You can do a advanced reader copy and a few chapters for your friends. So you can do the first few chapters of your book, and based on that, send those to people and say, hey, here's a treatment of my book. I would like to add a front page to my book, and I need to have that before I send it to my publisher, to have some blurbs about why you feel this book is going to be effective or useful or helpful. And then that'll give you some preemptive reviews to put in the print and ebook copy of your book. Then what I would recommend is on that launch week where your book is downloadable for free, make sure you have given an advanced reader copy, you know, after the book is done, give an advanced reader copy to a review team. So get people together. It can be friends, it can be family, it can be coworkers, it can be clients, it can be mentors, whomever you want, and just say, hey, we want a lovely, wonderful, amazing, honest review on between these 5 days. And then remind them and keep reminding them and keep reminding them, make it weird. Okay. And then just tell them to hold it until that time. And then that's it. Have them download it for free and then give the review, because that'll give them that verified purchase sticker. And you should do very well with that. And you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay for a review, which Amazon frowns upon anyway. So, because Kirkus doesn't actually give you the review on Amazon. It just gives you the review that you can put in the book or on the back of the book or in maybe some of your marketing materials or on your description of your book on Amazon or Ingram Spark, which is Barnes & Noble. I don't think it's very cost effective, honestly. Okay, what are the benefits of having an author website or a landing page? So I think that is self-explanatory. You're going to make money from that. So if you have an author page, you can do, or a landing page. You can also create this in Canva for free. You can just turn it into essentially a link, and you can put that link everywhere. So you can create it probably within an hour or two and just make it really simple. Make sure people see your face, you know, if you feel comfortable with that, but usually most people like to see people who they're buying who they're reading. You know, put the book cover design right up front. And then you can put the buttons for how to buy it on Amazon if you choose to do Barnes & Noble. If you want them to buy it from you personally, and then, you know, you have some kind of shopping cart options. And then, you know, put the reviews, take all the reviews that you've gotten off of Amazon, put those on there. You know, you can offer little treatments. You can give them the first chapter for free. Lots of options there. And I think that it's also a great way for you to build your email list. So that's the other thing. You know, you can get people talking about your book and connecting with you through essentially a free website if you want to do something like that. If you have a website already, just go ahead and put that as another page for your book. And again, make sure people can access and get to your email list. All right, let me see if there's any other thing. Hey, Laura, make it weird. She knows. She knows what it means to make it weird. I love Laura. I love you, Laura. The Invisible Woman, right? Isn't that right? Isn't that what you wrote? See, she made it weird. All right, let's see. What is included in author coaching? Okay, so I do have an add-on, an author coaching add-on, which, by the way, I'm going to be doing a Black Friday special. So I'll let you guys know about that. If you want information about it and you want to email me, connect@asyouwishpublishing.com. But I am going to do a 30% discount for author coaching. So that's coming up. I will make that weird and put that out there. Yes, Invisible Woman. Go check her book out. You got it on Amazon still, right? All right, so assistance in out. So this is what we do for the author coaching: assistance with outlining, feedback, writing sessions, manuscript evaluations, and you can also use coaching sessions for marketing guidance post-launch, pre or post-launch. So, you know, if you've got a book that you've already done, you know, and you want to get some author coaching on how to get it back out there, how to make it accessible again. If you want to do a revised edition and you want to do author coaching before you publish your book, or you're not going to be publishing your book through us because you know all the ins and outs of the publishing business, but you want to take and revise your edition and you don't really know how to get started with that, I can help you do that with some author coaching. So we do a 5-pack. Typically it's $500, but I think I'm dropping it to $350 for 5-hour-long sessions. But like I said, you're going to get a lot with that time, a whole lot, more than you bargained for probably. And then my current authors that I have, I'm going to be putting this out to them as well, so that they can add it to the package that they already have. Some of them already have author coaching, or for those folks who want to do, they didn't add it on, so we're going to add it on now. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Great offer. She said, yes, all 5 novels are there. Go get it. Go get it. Laura, can you put a link to your author profile, your author Amazon profile? That would be awesome. And I'll pop it up here. Or even your web. Do you have them on your website? That way you guys can see kind of what I'm talking about too, because you also have Author Central on Amazon, where you can put your bio and all of your information on there. And it'll also bring in all of your books that you've done or written for, even if you've done collaboration books. So like, for example, if Laura has her Author Central, then she probably also has, what did you do, honey? Did you do, I think you did Happy Thoughts Playbook. Did you do Inspirations? She probably has some of those other books on her author profile on Amazon too, along with her other books. And your son write a book? All right. So did I answer that question? Yes, I did. All right. What kind of community or ongoing support is available? So I am going to, and I'm doing office hours. So recorded sessions, a network of other authors for brainstorming and inspiration. So you have access to the other authors in our community. I often send an email to everyone. We have, I think, 7 authors right now that are currently in different stages of their books. So I'm very excited. So it's a small community, but it's a really good community with a lot of good-hearted, amazing people. So I'm also, like I said, doing office hours. So that goes along with the package. And that's an hour every 2 weeks where anybody can come in at any time during that hour, just like in college, right? And you can ask a question of the professor or the publishing services provider, and get any questions that you have answered. What are we saying here? Web page is not efficient as it should be. Overhaul coming. Yes. Life coach, happy thoughts, inspiration for daily. Yes. Inspirations, happy thoughts, life coach. Right. And Teak has some too. Nice. What is do you have your Amazon Central link? Can you put that in here? And I'll show everybody what that looks like. Or I can show everybody mine, but I would rather them maybe access your novels. There we go. So we have that kind of support. All right. So I got fact checked because I wanted to make sure that I was right. With the biggest database in all of history. Fact checked. All right. Amazon bestseller status. While SEO is part of the strategy, it's a combination of category selection, downloads, and reviews during a short time window. It's worth emphasizing that it doesn't reflect traditional best-selling metrics. Very true. Right. So I kind of, went over that a touch. But it's category selection. It's really important that it's not a very competitive category. And that's really a basic SEO philosophy as it is when it comes to keywords and stuff like that. If you were trying to search for something online, you would want to, if you were putting something online, you'd want to make sure that your keywords and metadata and all that kind of stuff would drive people back to you and your solution, but it might be very niched down into something very specific. So like, if you have KDP or Kindle ebooks overall, right? That's really amazing, right? Because that's 9 million books that you are, capping on top of. Whereas, and that's going to be a lot of your fantasy and romance. Humans like things. So, but you have, your niche down categories where there are not a lot of fishermen, but there is a lot of fish, so that might be metaphysical categories or psychological movement categories or spiritual categories or counseling categories if you happen to be a nonfiction writer in this type of genre, right? But if you do something else, if you're in a different type of category and you want to write a book about fishing, because I've got fishing on the mind for some reason, then that might be in outdoors or, sportsmen's, women's, or it could be in fishing, of course, but there would be some category underneath like trout fishing, being more specific, bass fishing, fishing boats, they could be a little bit more, in those kind of things. So let's see. Da, da, da. Wow. All right. So we're going to take that. You're so cute. I love you, Laura Rudisell. Let me let you in on a little secret and everybody else. So you see after where it says question mark, so it says B008170QNA question mark. If you take out that question mark and the ref and all this other stuff, it's still going to lead you back to that one. So you're going to take off that question mark. Yes, streams, river, lakes, oceans. I love it. I'm going to go to Author Central and just see if I can /. Laura Rudisell, author. Laura Let me just see if I can get it there. Let's see. All right. There's a lot of different ways to get Catching Stars, Laura, to places. So, let me see, put this one at a bit.ly get home, she said, but that's okay. So these are still going to be links. I can still be able to take people to on the actual Zoom thing. That other gobbledygook that we see in something like this, what that does is it tells the algorithm where you came from, and it will save your data so that it can know what things to send to you later. So there's also other things too. They could be A/B split testing and all kinds of stuff. So a little back office that too, but I do want to show everyone what this looks like. Present. Share. So I'm going to show you Laura's. So this is Laura's. Yeah, I'm going to put this up there like that. Let's see. So it's got her about the author. So you can read her full bio there. There she is, prefaced. And then we have a popular book, Inspirations, 101 Uplifting Stories. There's 183 reviews. That was a really popular book that we did in collaboration. So that's how Laura and I know each other. But here are top Laura titles for you guys. Catching Stars, Saltwater Cowboy, Late Breakfast. These are so fun. Invisible Woman. Here's the Thing. Of that. And then you have a bunch of the other books, that she's been in as well. So, and ways to get to them also. So that is just another way that you can use this page if you wanted to. You could link that, you do the bit link or whatever, which means just shortening the link. And you can essentially go back to, let me put my face back up here. You can essentially have them go back to this page so that they can have access to all the books that you have written. So I think this is a good thing to make sure that you build out if you're an author, is to make sure that you have your Author Central taken care of. And I will give you the link to Author Central. Author Central. Why? I think it's Amazon.author.com. I think, no. Sorry. We'll get there. Here it is. Author.amazon.com. Okay, it's giving me is it showing up there? No. It's giving me an error. I don't know why. Let me see. I think it's good for you to know, so I'm going to go ahead and keep walking through this. Because it's useful. There we go. It was just not letting me do it. I guess it was on my thing. Let's see. All right. No, you rock. You rock. All right. So author.amazon.com. So if you are one of my, I'm almost at an hour. I've been just talking. Collaboration authors, you need to go out to Amazon, author.amazon.com, and go ahead and get your Author Central thing going. So Joe, get out there and do it. Donna, do it. Lisa, I think I published you. Didn't we do you in, I think we did you in Inspirations. Is that right? But yeah, everybody should have one. I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Kira Schreiber. So this is mine. We've done some books. I don't even think I've claimed all of my books yet. A lot of these are collaboration books. And I also have done journal books. This one I usually put in my boxes for my authors, my new authors who come in. Inkwell Insights, Treasure of Creative Writing Sparks. I painted these. I painted these, that. I created just some different types of log books. My mom was diagnosed with diabetes, so I created her Mama's Diabetes logbook, which also added in, it's, the insulin tracker, the food, the daily pill, as well as an emotional scale. So to see how she was feeling day to day. Murder Mystery Writer's Companion is just something I love and I think is interesting. So some of these things I just did because I just felt that they were fun to do. But then the other ones are our collaboration books, and some that were not mine, but I was a part of, so I claim them in my author portal, essentially, my author.amazon.com. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for staying so long with me as well. I am going to put up our newest collaboration. Laura, I want you in this book. It is Startup to Stand Out. It's all about being a womanpreneur. So go out to asyouwishpublishing.com/we-write. Beth Eiglosh is on here. I've just been talking for an hour, Beth, and I just put this out to a small group of ladies yesterday. So I definitely want you guys to think about it. If you are a woman who is been in business for herself, you've had the hustle culture forever and ever. That's okay, Beth. She says, hi, lovey. We need you. We need you. So I'm going to go out here. I'm going to put in wish.com/we-write. And I'll show you what is up. I want you in it, Beth. I want you in it, Laura. Let me share my screen. Share. All right, so here it is. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm doing this specifically early. I was not intending it to be as early as it is, to have it out there as early as I have it, but I'm doing it anyway, because if you can get this, and if you're a business owner, you can get the tax write-off for the end of this year. So this marketing, it's a marketing expense for the book. So From Startup to Stand Out, Success Stories of Women Solopreneurs. Do not give me any of that crap that says you're not successful. If you have been an author, if you have been a business owner, if you have sold vegetables door to door or done yard sales like me as a child, that is success, because doing the kind of work that you have to do internally, emotionally, mentally to make money in alternative ways is incredibly empowering. And it's incredibly valuable, and it's incredibly important. And for those young ladies that are coming up in this world, to know that they can have a mentor, whether it's in this book or in some other way, to just have something to look up to as they are navigating their life. I think it is so important and is so key. I had mentors growing up. I had women who were 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25, 30 years older than me, who I looked up to every step of the way to show me if I was headed in the right direction. And so please, if you have just 1 ounce of a thought in your mind that you want to not die with your music still in you, you want to provide a safe place for women, whether they're younger women, your age, or older, to be able to make their own money, create their own legacy, to have more than what they've been told they could have. This is the book for you to be in. All right, listen, it is $197. That's the base price. If you want to add on some things later, you can. I do that all the time. Just go ahead, sign up. It's time. Please share your wisdom. Well, let's see. So a couple of the prompts: finding your spark as a solopreneur, overcoming challenges on the solopreneur path, building connections to fuel your business, the role of intuition in entrepreneurial success, crafting a vision for your business, learning from failure, the power of purpose in building a business, finding balance as a solopreneur. Listen, the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want. I also want to do interviews with the ladies in this book. I want to put QR codes in the book by their bios. I want to do pro tips. I want to do all kinds of fun stuff with this book. I want to create a community of people who will feel safe and will, have an opportunity to be seen in the work that they do and provide. Also, I want this to be a way for women to promote each other's businesses. And we use each other's businesses. We utilize each other's businesses. We collaborate, we connect, we network, we buy from each other. We knew that, right? I think so. Let's see, where am I? I can't find my own face. There we go. I'll find my own face eventually. All right, so that is so key. So key. All right. Wowza, fire. Laura, truth. Reading my insecurity. I don't know what that means. I've never felt or seen you be that. And if you are, then that is a great place to write from, because every single one of us has been that, It is cool. It's totally cool, Laura. Beth, I want you in this book. Hearts. Oh, I love those open hearts. Those are so cool. I love those little emoji hearts. Anyway, I will let you go, friends. Lots here, lots to digest. I'm going to turn this into a blog post to make it easy to digest, easy. Beth said, I started writing today. Yay. You know what? I wonder, is it time for your daughter to get involved in one of these books? Anyway, just put it out there as a little thought. Because we can be at any level, it can be education, we're just learning, we're in the flow, we're getting clear, we're understanding, we're allowing, we're becoming interested about all those kinds of things. Beth Eiglarsh. Thank you. All right, I will let you be, dear friends. So grateful for our time together, and please, please, please join the book. I'm going to be harassing you. I'm going to make it weird because the brilliance of the women that I know has to get translated. And I'm probably going to do more of these books throughout the year, but I haven't made any final decisions on that. So this is the one we're doing. And I've gotten a ton of input on the titling and the whole thing. So start up to stand out. So ladies, let's stand up. Let's stand out. Let's get visible. Let's share our wisdom with those young ladies that are going to have to. We're not even at a guessing game now. They're going to have to take care of themselves and what they're wanting to accomplish in their lifetime. Yep. And I hate to say this, but nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves, and we have to leave our wisdom behind in a way that it can be breadcrumbs and a real true trail for the young ladies coming up in this world. That's what I have to say about that. And I'll have more to say. All right, guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I will see you later. Bye to everybody on the As You Write group. And we'll see you soon. I've got an interview on Wednesday. I have got an interview on Wednesday with a very cool ghostwriter. So please, please, please join us for that. That's going to be 12:30 PST. Really cool questions that are coming out. So let's get it out there. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.